Welcome back. Oh, we're back on the Kearns, checking the electricity over here, and it looks yeah, okay-ish. I'll put a plug on and see what happens. We have some telltales here. Look at that, there's some fuses, and apparently there's some rewirable fuses in here. I don't know if you can see that. These are fuse wires. So these are this is really old. There is a label here. Let me get my reading glasses. Maybe you can tell something. Well, no telltale so far. It says serial number is 25229/2A. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. So we got some 400, 110, and that's a 400. Don't know, maybe 24 volts, maybe 110. I have no idea. We'll find out. Obviously, there's no drawings, but you don't need really any. But looking at that, that looks like a pretty good rat's nest over there, which is the control panel on the other side. Let's check if these fuses are okay. Yeah, I'm always a bit worried if I can find fuses in a machine. That's never good. I think I don't have any of those. As far as I can see, there's nothing burned so far. This is the main spindle motor, which sits underneath, so if the motor is faulty, you're gonna lift the machine up pretty high to get a motor out. Okay, let's have a quick look in the control panel, and then we're gonna put a plug on and see what happens. Well, as expected, it's a bit of a rat's nest. Someone messed around here. It looks okay-ish. Not pretty, but maybe it works. Lots of dirt inside, but yeah, it's acceptable. Let's put it back together, put a plug on, and fire it up and see what happens. So, new plug is fitted. Let's do a quick insulation test. I need to turn that on first. And if there is no major ground fault, we power it on, see what happens. Well, I'm glad I checked it over, because some ingenious Sparky used the blue one as a live. It's a 5-core cable, so we got 2 blacks, 1 brown, a blue, and the earth, protective earth. I connected the plug, obviously, as it normally belongs to. The blue is the neutral and the other colors are the phases, but it's not the case here. I was just checking continuity against the plug and it doesn't work, so we don't need a neutral on the machine, so it's okay. So get it apart again and rewire it. The motor seems okay. Got about 6 meg ohms, which is not great, but it's an old motor. But we got 3 and a bit, nothing here, and 4 and a bit. So this is probably the transformers, because the total 3, 4, 1.5, that's low. Yeah, it's on this phase here. Probably the transformers. Don't particularly like that. I think we cook it a little bit with a hot air gun for a few minutes, because I don't like that. It's under 1 meg ohm in total. Nothing is turned on right now, so the motor seems to be okay-ish, but these transformers here might have some insulation resistance issues. Let me pull the wires and see what it does here. Problem is, you only got one chance. If the insulation resistance is really low and you turn it on, it may spark, and you don't want that. And this machine was sitting in the dump for a while, so we take the heat gun and just cook it a little bit. So as expected, it's moisture. Look at that, it's creeping up. See that? Don't know if it's visible, but we gained about a meg ohm or 2. So it's the transformers. We'll come back in a few minutes. So we gained quite a few meg ohms. That's on the motor. That's 13. We've got 18 here. And 14 here. 11. And 8. So that's much better than before. I just give the motor a bit of a warm up as well. It's just moisture. But yeah, we get there slowly. I think it's good enough now. Let's plug it in and see what happens. So after a bit of fiddling around and trying to figure out what's wrong, there was loose terminals. I was pulling on some wires and they came out of the terminals on the back. So hardly it runs, and it's reasonably quiet actually. So that's forward, that's supposed to be reverse, and that's low speed, and that's medium speed. I'll leave that on low for now. Oh, that's medium, there's a high speed as well. Don't know what that means. What is that? That's medium speed, but the high speed seems not to work. Maybe because we don't have enough inrush current available. No. There's something wrong with the motor. Switch or contactor, something is not right. Because it's drawing an awful lot of current. So that's neutral, is it? Hopefully that's neutral. So now I'm going to try it again. Now there's a problem with the motor on the high speed. I think sounds like there's a phase missing because it's drawing an awful lot of current. You can hear it. It just doesn't sound right. And before I destroy something here, I'd rather have a look inside. Because it's a 3-speed motor, I don't know what the circuitry is. It's maybe a dial under, so half speed, double speed on one winding. This motor has at least 2 windings, probably 3, so there is a possibility there's something faulty. If that's the case, we need to pull the machine out, lift it up with a forklift, because the motor is ending down here somewhere. Let's put some light down here. Hopefully it's visible with the camera, I don't know. I'll just put the camera down there. So we hopefully can see what's underneath. Yeah, all I know is that the spindle motor is actually underneath, and to get it out, it's obvious that because the motor shaft is here, and yeah, that means it's a bit of fun. If the motor is short, I will certainly change it to something modern, just because it's a pain to get it out. If it's just some electrical gremlin on a switch, we might be lucky. We can't go much further than the speed anyway here, so we don't know exactly what the motor is. It's probably 2800 in high speed and 1400 in medium speed, and it's a 6-pole, 4-pole, 2-pole arrangement, which is not possible with a single winding. So it's going to have at least 2 windings, and it's quite possible that one of the windings is short. But there is also a possibility that just the switch is either wired the wrong way or is faulty. Alright, let's go back to low speed and see what the table motor does. So, table motor. Apparently it's running. Cable running towards the chuck. And that's, yeah, this is a bit, it's all a bit stiff. I think there's a very little oil. The cable comes out here. And so this is full speed. That's the feed speed. So this is neutral. This is full whack. Bruce Whitham did a nice mod for. It's basically just a collar which goes over here, because that's neutral and that's full speed. And so you come out here and you just want to stop the feed, and then you accidentally go to full speed. You just made a collar over that one, and you have to lift it to go to full speed. So I'm going to do that as well. That's a good idea actually. So yeah, it's engaging a bit hard actually. So now that's full speed rate. That's full speed rate here. Not a lot actually. There's something with this Bowden cable isn't right here. Well, but it's running. And the electricity down here is not very convincing either, so that will need a bit of work. But at least the feeds are working. But the feeds are only working if the spindle is running. If you stop the spindle, the feed stops as well. That doesn't sound very healthy. That doesn't sound very healthy. Why is it doing that? We don't know. Probably because it's not properly engaged. We run into a overrun issue here. Something is binding. Okay, feed is jammed. It was clear that there is some problem. Okay, so the motor runs, but it's jamming on the table, but the table is actually moving. So could be some shit in the gearbox. Who knows? Well, that's something. But we know it's working. Basic functions are there. I don't have a proper handle on that one. That needs to be fixed. I think this has been, looks like it's been welded on a few times. Look. So we're gonna do the same. Probably just make a new one. I don't have such a big one. I'll find out. These are the graduations for the table. So you can move the table around, and because there is another table coming on top. I just need to clean that thoroughly, and then we're going to put it on top. And then I need to take that boring bar out. But it's right at the end here. So take that boring bar out, and then we can try the facing head if that's working. It will come back. It's basically running. We still have that problem with the feed, and there's something jammed, but we're gonna find that as well. I tried to fill the oil cup, but the pump doesn't pump any oil. It's a hand pump, which apparently feeds the ways and things like that, but it's not gonna work. Alright, that's it for today. Got enough. Late. Carrying tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time.